And welcome to another episode of the MMU Mind Made Up Podcast. I'm your host, Al Ramsey, and tonight I have a very special guest. But before we get started, as always, I want to leave you all with the quote of the day. Today's quote comes from Louis Farrakhan, and it reads, "Work hard to discover your gift, and you will never hate another human being for manifesting theirs." Ladies and gentlemen, my guest tonight is someone who I would have to say it truly bridges the gap from my generation and the one before. This man is without question a true hustler, motivator, dope ass artist who covers topics such as crucial decision making, being dedicated to your craft, and just staying down until you come up. No other than who is Crown. Crown, how you doing, bro?
What's happening, man? Thank you for having me.
Yeah. There's a lot of reasons to do this shit, my nigga.
You know, my favorite artists always did it.
But the best reason is for the love,
tell
man.
when somebody doing it because they love it and when they don't love it.
For the fan.
Watching a master.
For the fan. Yeah. I can understand if you don't understand me.
Hey, man, I ain't really do this
Yeah.
for no approval. I didn't really do this for nothing
You ain't
else.
take
I
the
just did
risk,
it
see
because I
it
love the
wasn't
game.
nothing handed. Right. Shit turned out so good, you would've thought we planned it.
I spent a lot of time and lost a lot of time trying to get everybody to see it because I can see it
Tension
clearly.
high, eviction notices still I rise. Back against the ropes to let you know you blessed in disguise. I invest in my mind, strategies invested in time. The rest of the time, grind, you can rest when it's time. It's reflex, baby. I ain't see the shot, how we make it. Some of the shit you just gotta know when to take it. Get vacant. This is be the difference from elevation to stagnation. Layman terms get going. Man, I appreciate you for doing this, man. I don't even know, bro, if you can tell, like, bro, I'm very excited to have you on this podcast today, bro. For real, for real.
Oh, man, thank you for having me, man. I'm excited to be here, man. How are you?
Man, I'm doing good, man. I'm really just grinding, bro. This year has been one of the worst and best years for me, bro. And I mean, worst just because it's been exhausting. You know what I'm saying? So much going on, so much information. What do we believe? What should we do? This is going on. That's going on. The election, dope shit is going on in the midst of all of this shit. And it's been taxing, bro. But one thing I will say, like, this year has been so impactful on my life because I have like a new appreciation for time and how fast it can go by you if you're not moving with intention, and then also how slow it can go if you're being intentional about every single day. You know what I'm saying? If you're being disciplined and you're really watching your moves, if you're being real self-aware, just how much time you really have. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
Yeah, man. That's
Correct.
what this year has done that for me, for real, for real. But yeah, I know you've been on the move this year, bro.
Yeah, man, I've been moving around. Kind of like, kind of piggybacking off what you were talking about, you know what I'm saying? Just maximizing the time and trying to make the most of every moment.
That's a bet, bro. And you know, I've been watching the movement closely ever since we still don't know came out. I've been watching the press run, if you will, with the different podcasters you've been visiting, and this was even before. You know what I'm saying? You said you would hop on my show. I was just kind of watching real close, and you know, I know you're promoting the album, and it's a great album, bro, and we're definitely gonna get to that. But yo, through my interview, honestly, bro, I want to take it back to like the start of where you were and the momentum that you've built to get where you are now. You know what I'm saying? And just everything in between. Because if you don't mind, bro, I want to give you some praise for a minute real quick, bro. Because in the beginning in the intro, bro, I said that you were somebody that I feel like bridges the gap. And I want to explain what I mean by that, because I feel like seeing you being as though like we're in the same area, or you started from the same area, you know what I'm saying? It just seemed more tangible for me, and I just was able to piece together the puzzle that I had been trying to sort out through game that I was getting through even my older brother, Don is dope. And, a Nipsey Hussle, all these people, they give out the game through their music, and it's up to you to find out how to apply it in your life. And, for me, like, honestly, bro, you really helped me piece together that shit just by watching your moves and seeing the brand grow into what you are now, bro. And it's like, throughout this conversation, I don't even plan on mentioning Daytona too much. Shout out to Daytona. I love Daytona, but I feel like your artistry has surpassed just that. Like, it would be an insult to say you're the dopest rapper from Daytona, because that doesn't even, you know what I'm saying? That's you're surpassed that level, because I put you literally in the same playlist that I put my Nipsey and my my anybody that I'm trying to motivate to remind me why I'm on this path and why I'm grinding. You know what I'm saying? Your tracks are in the midst of that playlist, bro. And I got hip to you, like, I've been knowing you ever since you was Blazer Ellington. I know you through Earl Gosso. So I knew of you, right? So I always knew that you was rapping and shit like that, but I ain't really get hip to you, to your music, and realize, yo, this is somebody I need to listen to for about, like, I guess it was like 2 or 3 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And the message that you're putting out is really like the formula to life or to success. And the same with Nipsey and all these other rappers that are spitting out that same type of message, bro. And it's just up to us on how we apply it to our own life, if that makes sense. You feel me?
Yeah, no, man, that's an honor to even be held in that company. And I appreciate it. Shout out to Daytona, as I said before. And yeah, man, that's what it was about. We definitely go back. We got some history. And to know that, it's good to hear that, because sometimes, when we're making this music and we on this journey, we can only hope that people are inspired by what we do, or that they getting the message, man. So I appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah, no, for real, bro. And I think what it was for me that allowed me to resonate and relate with you and see that fire in you as well is because, like I said about bridging the gap, like when Nipsey Hussle and whoever, I'm gonna mention him 1,000 times, because that's like, what I mean, that's Pac for me. That's Pac for me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was a heavy Pac fan when I was in middle school, and still am, but that was like, you know what I'm saying? That's the standard right there. You feel me? But like, when they were going through their trials and tribulations and they were bumping their head or whatever and trying to figure it out, I might have been too young. I might have been trying to find out who I am first and what I want to do. But one thing I know is, like, I had a passion for basketball and the process of getting better. You know what I'm saying? And what made me click, bro, the album or the project, I'm not sure if it was an album or a mixtape, but For the Love of the Game, bro, is really what made me click, like, onto your music and be like, yo, what the fuck? So I just want you to spend a little bit of time, if you could go back. I know you've done a lot since then, and the progression is crazy, but can you just talk about that project right now and sort of what that meant to you?
Yeah, man. For the Love is a special project, man. For the Love is like one of my favorites, actually. For a long time, it actually was my favorite project. That tape was done late 2017, man. I think we did that tape in like a week. It was something that I really just did to kind of like hype fans up. Prior to that, I hadn't released nothing for like a year. I think the last thing I released before that was like the Shop Open mixtape. And I went away, was in LA for a little minute, came back to Florida, kind of rebuilt the brand and so forth. And we knew that we had a June tape coming shortly after, so I wanted to give people something to just kind of warm them up, And I love just rapping, man. I love bars. Like, I love to just get on a record, and if I could rap on a record, no hook, I do that shit all day. You know what I'm saying? I love songwriting as well and making hooks. I'm good at both, but if I just want to just it's more freeing for me to just hop on beats and just snap. I have a lot more fun with that. So that was kind of my tape, and at that time, that was my approach on that tape. And at that time, man, I just felt like, my favorite artists always did it because they loved it. and you can tell when somebody doing it because they love it and when they don't love it. You know, I remember back in being a kid watching the NBA. That was one of the slogans back then. I love this game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I remember
Back in
that
the
too.
late '90s and shit. And I wanted to kind of play off that, which is kind of like what lit up the logo. You know, for the love of the game, and that was like, you know, that was my approach. I just wanted to do something that felt good and that was just bars and it was raw and it was fresh and it was simply for the love of the game. It was literally just, hey man, I ain't really do this for no approval. I didn't really do this for nothing else. I just did it because I love the game and I wanted to find the best beats and or whatever beats was hitting me at that time and see what I could attack and I have to play off of them, man. And we was literally recording verses while playing 2K and it's just like, yo, find a beat, pull that up. All right, bars. Okay, cool. Halftime. All right, more bars. All right, go back and play. You know, and I wanted to just get that energy to people to motivate them. You know, and I think sometimes hearing it from people that we look up to that's a part of our everyday lives via sports. You know, kind of put things in perspective. At that time, I was reading this book called Relentless by Tim Grover, and Tim Grover was the trainer for Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant and Dwayne Wade. Yeah, Tim Grover was, so that was the book that inspired that tape. So I was at a place after I did Shop Open and we did the merch, man, and everything was moving. I was in a space mentally where I was like trying to kind of get over that hump. And Relentless talks about that. You know, that summer I had watched the Muse documentary by Kobe Bryant. I think I watched the Allen Iverson documentary. I was just heavy into sports.
Right,
and then June played basketball. My brother played basketball, and there's this heavy correlation between music and rap. You know what I'm saying? Rappers and ballers is always like synonymous. You know, so I wanted to make some music that the ballers could play to. You know what I'm saying? But then the other side of it was, I was personally going through a phase where I was trying to get over this hump. You know what I'm saying? Like really take this thing to the next level. In the sense of kind of just building a resilience. You know, when you chasing a dream and you going after anything in life, there's moments in your journey where you feel defeat. There's moments where you feel fatigue. There's moments where, you know what I'm saying, there's a moment where a dog has to come out of you, right? Like you could come in and you could play the game from the fundamentals and you could be nice and you could do everything right, but then there's a point in the game where none of that matters. You just got to be vicious.
Yeah.
And in order to get to where you're going, and typically, you know, for ballers, that's typically around the playoffs, right?
Right.
It's like regular season is cool, but then when it's playoff time, it's like no holds bars. Anybody can get it. I got to get there. And I was in that space in my career, and I knew where I was going with the June tape and what we had been working on for about 2 years at that point. And I was like, yo, this is the moment that I'm going to shift everything. So reading that book inspired For the Love of the Game, man. And like I say, we were sitting in, we did that shit in the hood. We did that shit in PPU, like literally in the project.
Live from PPU.
Like, yeah, live from PPU, like real shit, like literally in the middle of the project. We sat there for 4-5 days playing 2K and just, yo, fuck it, pull that beat up, let's go, you know. And it came out raw. To me, it's a classic, in my opinion. A lot of my fans, actually, that's one of their favorite projects for me. Like a lot of people say, For the Love of the Game is that project. And there's a few people asking for part 2, man. I'm not big on sequels, but I'm considering it.
Yeah, man, that project is special, bro. And it really, like, when I was listening to it, you know what I'm saying, I was like, okay, this, first of all, the interludes with Allen Iverson talking about practice, you know what I'm saying, you really came in just shitting on him. Like, it was open gym. Like the beginning half of the project was like open gym. Who coming in? What can you do? And you know, track 1, you kind of showcasing your skills, and throughout as it progresses, you know what I'm saying, like you said, you're dealing with that hump. So you're trying to find out how to get over it. You know what I mean? And in the track Overtime, it's like you putting in that extra work. You know what I'm saying? You got foul out, buzzer beater, like the whole shit. It was like a basketball game, but it was like personal. You know what I'm saying? And when I listen to it, I can internalize it and apply that same formula, even though you making a reference of basketball, but really this is life. You know what I'm saying? And for you, it's a journey into becoming the artist that you're striving to become. But for me, I can apply it to like what I'm trying to do. You know what I'm saying? And it's just about having that dog mentality, not giving up, and building the habits, like really making it your life. You know what I'm saying? Waking up early and doing the stuff that people plan to do but they fail to execute on, doing those little things over and over until it's a habit. And then like Kobe said, it's gonna get to a point where the gap is so far that it doesn't matter what you do in the off season, you're not gonna catch me. You know what I mean? But really, you competing against yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like you competing against the weaker part of you that wants to stay in bed or that doesn't want to, you know what I'm saying, go hard and do those little things that you know you're supposed to do in order to get to that next level, bro.
Right. I mean, and that, like you said, that's really what it was. You know, that's what it was for. And it was about, you don't do nothing. You can't do nothing without the love. You can't succeed at nothing without loving. You know what I'm saying? Even when you get to the point where you don't love it, like the initial love is what's gonna get you through it. You know what I'm saying? That remembering why you did it. So I'm glad that translated. That's exactly what it was about.
Man, that album, bro, is that shit is special, bro. For real. That is like
Richard.
that's a special album, man. And I want to ask you, what's your favorite verse on that album or your favorite song?
I would probably say Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame?
Yeah. It's the thing about For the Love of the Game for me is like I'm a Wayne fan. You know, of course we came up on Wayne, and I used to love those tapes where Wayne was just black on beats. You know what I'm saying? Like that's to me that's the best part of Wayne. Like you can keep the Carters and all that rest of that. Like that's cool, but the best part of Wayne is the mixtapes. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
To me, in my opinion, outside of Carter 1, Carter 2, the mixtapes is like where you get premium Wayne. And that was kind of my attempt in my old, and Hall of Fame was a Wayne beat. That was one of them joints he did by Street Runner.
Yeah.
And I happen to know Street Runner personally, so I had to really go crazy on that just in case it came across his desk. But it's some bars throughout that whole tape, man, that I feel, the rapper in me be aggravated because, bars ain't really the key no more these days. Like a lot of artists aren't really wordsmith, and if they are, the audience don't really understand it. We're in a different era where, niggas ain't really breaking down bars no more. They just, hype and turned up to the music. But for me, I love the bars, and there's some shit in there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
there is definitely some shit in there.
There
is definitely some shit in there. And honestly, bro, Hall of Fame, that's track 5. That's where that shit took a turn. That whole album took a turn because from then on, I feel like you blacked out for the rest of the album. Like the 1 through 4 was like the first half. You was just getting adjusted. Like you was going off. Niggas know you could hoop. But Hall of Fame, like from then on, niggas was like, okay, nobody can guard this nigga. Cause you was really just shitting on him, bro.
Yeah, and that's kind of like, it's crazy that you picked up on that because a couple people hit me after the tape, after they listened, and they was like, man, I wish you would have ended it with Hall of Fame. And I was like, nah, like, Hall of Fame is third quarter. You know what I'm saying? That's they say, you win or lose the game in the third quarter. That's a sports little term. They say typically the game is won or lost in the third quarter. And Hall of Fame, foul out, and buzzer beating those records, that's third quarter.
Down by 20.
Down by 20, you know what I'm saying? Like, even when it's like, I got to come back.
Man, incredible tape, bro. And I could literally get into all of those tracks and really break them down. But since you said Hall of Fame was your personal favorite, and for me, it was out of Hall of Fame and Down by 20. But also...
Yeah, Down by 20, I forgot about Down by 20. Yeah, that's another one, too.
That shit go hard. But also Foul Out and Buzzer Beater are also, they have some very quotable lines where it's like that's the formula. You know what I'm saying? I forget what song it is, but I always kind of say this to myself when I feel like I'm aggravated in the lack of progression that I see with my own personal success. Even though a lot of times we judge our judgment on our success and how far we've come is false because we want it so quick. But on one of those songs, you said faith of a mustard seed, feet of a snail. I get there.
Faith of a mustard seed, feet of a snail. I get the bat, the shells on your tail. Basically just playing off the line. I think that was on Foul Out. Yeah. I think that basically was just saying, like, especially coming from Daytona, we started with nothing. And I tell people that all the time. Like, a lot of people don't understand that. Me and my boy B, I Am November was just talking like 2 days ago about the same thing. Like, a lot of people don't understand like how hard it is coming from a city like Daytona. And really getting your respect because it's so small. And a lot of people don't know anything about this area. It's not like an Atlanta or a Miami or a major city, a Dallas or Houston or a Compton or Los Angeles. It's really a small city. So when you say that in different rooms, it's almost like people look over you. You know what I'm saying? When you tell people where you from and you answer that question, it's like, I don't know about you. I ain't never heard nothing coming out of that type situation. And if everybody else started from the mud, then we started from hell. You know what I'm saying? We literally started from under the mud.
Right.
And that's the only thing that keep us in the game is the smallest bit of faith. Even when you fucked up and you want to quit, you know what I'm saying? If you could just find an ounce of it, you can keep going.
Even when you're down by 20.
Yeah, man. Even when you're down by 20, if you can find a little bit in it, remembering your why, you can keep going. And then it's just talking about, the turtle versus the rabbit theory. And that's what that record was almost actually going to be called, the turtle versus the rabbit. Like, a lot of people know the tale of that, of like, a turtle and a rabbit is racing and a rabbit will take off and be winning. But once it gets far enough ahead of the turtle, it'll stop and look back at the turtle because it's confused as to why the turtle ain't keeping up, why it's going so slow. And in the process of the rabbit looking at the turtle ends up surpassing the rabbit and wins. And a lot of the times that's light. Like, a lot of the times we want our success so fast, and we see some people take off faster than us. We see people get in different situations, and then, you can either be discouraged or you can be encouraged. However you view it is, up to you. But typically what tends to happen in those situations is like, you never really realize some of the people that's moving ahead of you is looking back at you like, but you the motivation. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Some people that are, that are moving ahead of you and you looking at them like, man, how they get up there and I can't get there. If you stop and you start focusing on their process, you don't make no progress.
Which goes right back to the quote that I had, where it's you work hard to discover your gift and you will never envy or hate another human being who is manifesting theirs. Like, you believe in yourself. Correct. And you're going to get there, whether you taking small steps. You know what I'm saying? As long as you got the smallest bit of faith and you headed in that direction, you're going to get there.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, it's all just about, progress, man. Like, consistency. Stay active, And that was the whole moment of that record. Like, just look back the shells on your tail, playing off the rabbit and the turtle.
Yeah.
It's like, man, regardless of what's going on, I'm going to stay consistent and keep moving. I don't necessarily understand why I can't move faster. Maybe it's just my genetic makeup. Maybe this is just what I was set to do. But if I stay on my path, I don't look to the left, to the right, and I just keep inching towards what I'm going towards, eventually I'll reach my goal.
Man, that is... You preaching right there, bro, because that's applicable with anything. It's not just you because you're a rapper or you're an artist and you on that. That's literally applicable for anybody. And often, too many times, people get discouraged. I mean, it's so cliche to say at this point because the answers people have been telling us this same stuff, but people just fail to listen and take heed and adhere to it. But literally, bro, you stay on your course and you're going to get there. Don't worry about why you don't have it yet, or, and Instagram and things like that. It kind of makes it a little more difficult because you can see the story behind, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's, mean, that's life, man. A lot of people get tricked out of their position looking left and right, and it ain't easy. You know what I'm saying? There's many moments where, on your journey to whatever you're doing, especially in the social media area, social media era. Sorry, blah, blah, blah. Especially in this era, man, where everybody's kind of like everybody's wins is projected in front of you. Everybody's wins is just put on the surface. You never see the struggle. Many people even highlight the struggle, and that's kind of like a thing in the black community. We always kind of been taught to ignore the struggle or dilute the struggle or fake our way through the struggle and make it seem like we got it all together. And to me, Down by 20, kind of to play off that record, that's the record where I want you to know, like, nah, nigga, this is the mentality when we down by 20. Tension high, eviction notices still outride. You know what I'm saying? Back against the wall. Don't let you know who you is in disguise. You know what I'm saying? The grit to get through it. You'll be surprised what you could do with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's that muscle memory moment, right? And that's what goes to show you, like, a lot of the times, like, I can say that just even in my life today, even in my life today, there's moments where I could be exhausted, right? And it just clicked, and that's what goes to let you know, like, the struggle ain't useless. It ain't pointless. You know what I'm saying? The struggle has a purpose. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the times you don't know the struggle has a purpose because you're in the midst of it. And you're like, man, why? I can see the goal right here. I can reach out and it feel like I should be able to attain it right now. Like, it's that close.
Yeah.
But all of this turbulence, all of this blowback is right here trying to get to it. But you don't realize you're building resistance. You know what I'm saying? You're building through the resistance. The resistance is building resilience. Sorry. And when you get there, that's the very thing that it's gonna take
to stay there.
To stay there.
Yes,
sir. When the rest of throwing you different curveballs, that's the other part of the next level. When you get to the next level, there's curveballs that's coming, right? So if the curveballs is coming on the next level, that means you gotta learn new shit, but the old shit that you have, you still gotta apply.
That's the foundation.
So it gotta be reflex. Because you don't got the time to think about what to do with the shit that's already coming to you. Because you're going to be thinking about the shit that you ain't see coming. You feel what I'm saying? So the reflex going to save you. The reflex is what's going to maintain you. All the struggle and the shit that you've been through, all those levels that you passed, everything you learned in that is going to be what keeps you in a position while you're trying to figure out how to navigate to the next level.
Man, say that, bro. Because honestly, bro, like, this year I've been real intentional about being still. And I've been meditating and manifesting and just taking my life for where it's at right now and not so worried about, oh, I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to enjoy my life when I'm successful, when I reach that. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at the level that I'm on now, and I'm understanding that these steps cannot be skipped. You know what I'm saying? These steps have to be taken in order to have that foundation so that it doesn't crack when you have it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, fact. And that's, like, I think 2020 put everybody in that position. If you wise enough to pay attention to it, you'll recognize it. You know what I'm saying? If your eye is trained to see it, you'll recognize it. But if it's not, you're gonna learn it in this process.
Yeah, man, you're gonna learn it, bro. And it's like, for a lot of people though, like, I salute to people that, they might not understand it yet, exactly what they're supposed to do, but they're seeking that knowledge, because I was there. Like, I feel like just recently, within the last, like, I'll probably say when I had my daughter, like, my awakening happened. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, oh shit, nigga, I see where I'm taking my life. I'm seeing, and not that I was on no bad path or anything, but just a little bit complacent. You know what I'm saying? I was getting complacent. I wasn't really pushing myself. You know what I'm saying? Which goes back to, we still don't know, nigga, what you waiting for. Like, get your ass up and get to it. But I just had that awakening, and some people are asleep, but they searching for that answer. And that takes me to my favorite quote, where it says, the teacher will appear when the student is ready. You know what I mean?
True shit. That actually just happened to me yesterday, which is crazy. But go ahead.
Yeah, man. It's real shit, bro. Yeah, man. I love that album, bro. That is definitely one of the that shit is a classic, bro. That is what really, for me, Like, and I remember when you were putting out. I remember the song you made about Brandon Two Cups, and I used to fuck with that song. You know what I'm saying? And I remember the song you made about it was a hit, bro. It was wake up in the morning, nigga. I ain't stressed. Get into the morning, nigga. Straight for the nest. Like I remember all that shit, but when for the love of the game hit, it was right around that time I had my daughter because it came out in 2018. You said right?
Yeah.
Bet. So it was just divine timing. Like I'm woke now, and I'm seeing who else is. Because I remember when you came through and we chopped it for a little bit, and it's like you had said something that really resonated with me. You was like, whoever see it is gonna see it, and let's go. But if you don't, it ain't my business to save you no more. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That shit is truer than ever now, bro.
I mean, yeah, that's oh my bad. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you can spend a lot of time in your life, dog, trying to get people to see the vision, and I'm telling you that from experience. I spent most of my life trying to get people to see it, and I think if I could be honest with you about any of my mistakes, I think that was my biggest mistake. I think my biggest mistake was that I saw the goal and I tried to get everybody to see it with me because everybody else was around me and they wanted to go, they wanted to do it, they was down for it or whatever. Until it was time to do the work.
Yeah.
Until it reached the point where it wasn't easy. Until it's like when you outside and you start sweating.
Yeah. Until they realized that it wasn't gonna come overnight.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And I spent a lot of time and lost a lot of time trying to get everybody to see it because I could see it clear as day. But sometimes, God get that vision just to you. And, if I regretted anything is that I didn't just go get it myself. You know what I'm saying? Like I was trying to bring everybody with me. So that's the thing. You reach a point where it's like, hey, man, I think I heard Wiz say it on the album, and I think that's kind of where it hit me different. Wiz was like, yo, fuck who don't get it. If they don't get it, it's because they're not supposed to.
Man, that's for real, though. That's for real, too. I think I heard Currency say some shit like that, too, in a rap, because he'll be like, man, don't put niggas on to me. Like, if they don't fuck with me and they don't discover me, they ain't supposed to. Like, if you in this lane, it's because it's something in you. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And that's the whole thing. Like, so, in the pursuit of whatever you after, there's an isolation period. Without a doubt, there's always an isolation period. So the thing is, what most people feel is they don't like isolation. Most people don't like being alone. That's why a lot of this generation is like emotional and fucked up, to be honest with you, because they don't value alone time. They don't value getting ugly and getting it out the mud. Like sometimes you got to get ugly on these hoes and eat. That was a Nipsey tweet. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to. Sometimes you have to isolate. You know what I'm saying? And it's like everybody. You want your girl to go with you. Your girl wants you to be up under all goddamn day. But then when the progress don't happen,
she mad.
Now it's arguments and it's frustration. You know what I'm saying? Or when you ain't getting where you trying to go, you looking at her like you holding me back. But it's like y'all both need that time. Everybody need that isolation, dog. Like, and right now in a world where everywhere you go, somebody looking at you, dog. Whether you on your fucking phone, whether you outside, whether you in your house, everywhere you're going, there's no escape. It's hard to think with all that noise. It's hard to navigate with all that noise. Sometimes you have to retreat. Sometimes you got to get in your own place. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, people say, well, yo, I got kids, I got this, and that. Yeah, that's cool. But there's a point between 1 and 3 in the morning where ain't nobody up.
So what you gonna do with it? Yeah, you ain't lying, bro. And you know what?
Like,
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, you know what? It's all about conditioning because I recently picked up a second job, stocking overnight at Target. Now I'm up getting ready for work at fucking midnight to drive to Sanford to be at my shift that starts at 2. You know what I'm saying? And somehow, some way, I find the fucking energy to get ready, eat breakfast, and go out, drive 35 minutes, and start unloading the fucking truck. But if the thought would have ever crossed my mind to get up and start reading or something like that, up until now, it'd have been like, no, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, what really motivates you? You know what I mean? Because you got the energy, you have it's in there. Like your body can handle it, but can you convince your mind and your thoughts that it's worth doing it? You know what I mean?
Correct. And that's the key. You know, I tell people the difference between life and death is discipline. The difference between stagnation and success is discipline. That's it. That's the only thing.
This
It's
be the
discipline.
difference between elevation and stagnation. In layman terms,
Yeah.
get ghost and get in your bag. Stop hating.
It's there. It's there, bro. Like I'm putting it in the music. You know what I'm saying? And I applaud everybody that's catching it because that's it. Like it's what it like. So the skit on the album, I think it's before Hall of Fame, the Kobe skit, where he's talking about his practice schedule and how if he gets up at 4 a.m., he's practiced 2 hours, go home, eat, come back to the gym, practice for 2 more hours, go home, eat, go back to the gym, practice 2 more hours, go home, eat. Look at how much more time he's invested than the average person who get up at 6 and practice for 4 hours straight and then go home and be like, I'm good. It don't matter what you do playoff time, your body's not conditioned to keep the fuck up. It's the small things that create the big wins. You know what I'm saying? It's the small inches. It's the couple extra steps. You know what I'm saying? It's the drop back and how you cut your feet, and when you guard in that wide receiver. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference between the interception or this nigga mossing you and just taking off. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the little things. It's feet placement between being out of bounds and that touchdown. You know what I'm saying? Like, did your toe hit that inbound? You know what I'm saying? Did it hit that end zone right before you fell out? You know what I'm saying? It's those little things that matter, and you can apply it to everything in life. Did you take the time to rewrite that line? Did you make that extra effort to be at your kid game? You dead ass tired, man. You got to go to work at 8:30. Did you take that risk knowing that the game was over at 8:30 and call your boss and just be like, nah, I'm my son.
Yeah,
I'll
man.
be there, but you know what I'm saying? It's the shit like that changes the cards. You know what I'm saying? For you, it's the little things, you know, and that don't come without blowback. That don't come without bullshit. That don't come without struggle. But the reward is so much greater in the end. And I think that's just kind of like what I wanted to get at in that particular portion of the tape. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's something that if everybody starts to apply it, or not even everybody, just the people that want it, the people that want different, if they start to apply it, they'll see different.
Yeah, man. And honestly, that formula, there's no way around it, bro. And that's why I named my podcast the Mind Made Up Podcast, because as simple like I said, I'd been plotting on the idea and kind of thinking about doing it, but finally I was like, nah, man, I just need to do it. And that needs to be the standard for everything in life. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just go and do that shit. Make up your mind that you're gonna do it and you're gonna achieve those goals, and you're gonna start doing everything that aligns your mission in life with that, including the research to find out how others got there. And if you do the research, you're gonna see the same formula being spilled out from like everybody that's made it, and they're saying the same thing, bro. It's the little things, it's the discipline, it's the, you know what I'm saying, having the guts to tell your girl, like, I'm not finna lay down and watch a movie with you tonight when I could be reading and I could be studying. Matter of fact, why don't we do it together, since we, you know what I'm saying, that type of shit. Yeah, man, it's deep, and it's the go ahead.
But you know, flip side, making the time to say, let's do this another night. You know, because you can't neglect that either.
That quality time, you right? Yeah.
They need. So you know, you got to balance both of them. But it's like this: when you broke, my nigga, you know how to make some money stretch. You feel what I'm saying? Like that's the most beautiful part about women and mothers, particularly. Like watching a mother move. You could see a mama have $20, nigga, and feed everybody.
No lie.
Like, it's strategy. You know what I'm saying? It's just like adopting that strategy.
Yeah, man, for sure, bro. But man, moving on. So like for the love of the game, for me, that's when I started opening my eyes to the shop open movement. And I remember a while ago you had did an interview. I don't remember what you were promoting or who the interview was with, but you had said that, you know, people come to you and like they'll say something like you know, oh, you making it because you got a team behind you. And you had said that, you know, no, I'm making it because I built a team behind me or around me. So I wanted you to kind of speak on the shop open team. I know that, you know, AO and Bree, but who are some? I want you to like name the key components of the shop open team and what their roles are and how important that is to you and your movement.
Okay, so you got me, which is CEO, the artist founder of Shop Open. Brandon, I am November, who is our chief creative officer, man, and he's the one who created the logo. You know, I came up with the idea of Shop Open, but he created the logo and crystallized it. And he does all of the visual marketing work for the team, and that's one of the most important pieces of any team. You know, marketing and promotions, and without the visual aspect of this, you don't have anything. You know, so that logo that you see, that's created by the GOAT. I am November. Justin Creighton out of New York is our business partner. He's our head of legal and business affairs. And with any business, the paperwork got to be right. You know, having your trademarks and everything together, having your business together, your LLCs and your taxes and all these things, making sure that you got it all on point. And then Bree Payne is the engineer, audio engineer, man. So everything that you hear, any music that you've heard from me over the last however many years, she's recorded and mixed it and had her hands on it. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the records that y'all love, those are a lot of prepaid work. And then we got Ayo, who's the DJ, representing the team one time, just keeping the music out and the vibes. He's a newer member to the team. He only been around for about a year now, but Ayo's a great asset. We got Earl, got Soul, and Earl been with me since we was kids. You know, Earl done been through a lot of the crews. Earl is brand ambassador, you know what I'm saying, and his role is expanding step by step. He's really more into the fashion side of it and the culture side of it. We haven't even gotten to see the brilliance of Earl yet. You know what I'm saying? He got a lot to bring to the table, and he makes a lot of plays and connects a lot of dots behind the scenes. But his moment in the forefront is coming really, really soon, especially as we expand more amongst this merchandise. And then we got my cousin Ra. Ra is also a brand ambassador. He represents the culture and just moving street to street. Like he would be what you would call your Mr. Ruggs. Our Fab got a Mr. Ruggs. That's who rides to the team, man. Like he's really just on the streets, moving around. And then we have an intern. We have two interns. One Deja out of Miami who handles PR, and one Abdiel who handles social media marketing.
Y'all ain't playing.
Yeah, it's been a while, but the core is the original four. Me, B, Bree, and Justin.
Man, that is I can hear just by how you spoke about your business that y'all ain't playing. Like you have a legal director.
Yeah, there's no games if you play. Like it's just really business. We can't
Yeah,
shop over
for sure. So
business,
how did you learn? How did you learn? Like how did you know that you needed all those pieces? Like you know what I'm saying?
I can say trial and error, but kind of just paying attention, man. Like I'm a student of the game, just studying the game, studying the world. Watching the people that you want to, that you're inspired by. I grew up a whole fan, so I always tell people like it's two very important pieces to my musical, DNA, and that's Andre 3000 and Jay-Z. I always love the creativity of Drake, and I always love the creativity and business acumen of Hov. And watching Hov, man, like I just remember just seeing the business moves and just being like, yo, hearing them records and breaking down them lines, like the same way that you would break down For the Love of the Game. For me, it's Black Album. When you first come in the game, they try to play you, you drop a couple of hits, look how they waited you. Marcy Maddox and Square to the only thing that matters is just a matter of years. Like I'm listening to the bars and I'm listening to the nigga, talk about, magazines want to pay me for ads, you know what I'm saying? And just talk about all this little slick game and these records that everybody else may just be nodding their head to and just thinking, yo, he jamming. And I'm like, nah, he's telling you.
He giving you the formula.
He's giving you the formula. You know what I'm saying? And I come from the era of rap where it was crew based. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot about crews at that time, not so much today. But watching them and then building my own crews, and my first team being like just nothing but rappers and producers, and then that shit crashing because everybody want to be in the spotlight and nobody had nothing to offer. And it's like, well, everybody can't be the rapper. Like, somebody got to be the cameraman, somebody got to be the marketing person, somebody got to be this. So then those teams, humbling. You build it, you break it down, you build it. Kind of the playoff Nipsey. Like, one of my favorite records from Nipsey of all time is a song called "Respect Your Passion." And it was never on a tape. It was something that he dropped the day that like my first crew really fell apart. And I remember hearing that record, bro. And it's like, this nigga spoke the record to my soul, bro. Like, I'll make a cash for you flatline. I hope you make 100 cash for you flatline. Son, back. Build a master plan, watch it backfire. Burn it all down, then collect the ashes. Build it back. Respect your passion.
Ooh.
Like I pray you make 100 cash so you flatline. Build a master plan.
Watch it backfire. That shit happened.
Burn it all down. Then collect the ashes. Build it back. Respect your passion. That's tatted on my arm. You know what I'm saying? Because that's life, nigga. You know what I'm saying? And the day that he dropped that song was the day that my whole master plan backfired.
And see, and again, like I was saying, that's a step that could not be skipped.
Right. So in that process, what you do is you learn from it, So to get to Shop Open, I had to go through, all right, man, I got all my rap homeboys. We gonna rap, we gonna snap, we gonna get on. The game don't work like that. Okay, so then the next team is I got a creative team. All right, we make beats, we produce, we record, we do this. That's cool, but where's the business? Who's gonna do the talking? Who's gonna handle the contracts? Who's gonna read? All right, let's move this around. Okay, we need this. And now we need promotion. You know what I'm saying? It's the process, man. Like, a lot of the times, people always, ask you, what takes so long? It's the process, man. If you want to come in this game and be fucked over, you know what I'm saying, because you don't know nothing, a lot of people in any form of business, you know what I'm saying, a lot of people lose their foot in this business because they move so fast. And, sometimes you do have to seize the moment, but then those oftentimes are the same people that in the long run end up having a lot of tears and a lot of frustration because of the things that they didn't know early on. You know what I'm saying? And I guess for us, for me, it was always like, I prided myself on intelligence. I would be lying if I said otherwise. Like, I've never been a fan of being dumb. Like, ignorance kind of aggravates me in the sense of, like, it's so much information out here, dog. Like, certain shit, I'm not an excuse type of guy. Like, it's one thing where it's like, I might be frustrated, but excuses, there's always information. There's always information, like, especially in 2020. Like, there's nothing in this world that you can't find out for free.
And to go off of, I don't remember what interview you was talking about that, like the difference between the generation. It's like our generation, we grew up with the sort of the introduction of technology, all the fun shit of it, right? And a lot of us are stuck in that, whereas we're just using technology for our entertainment, when this younger generation is getting busy with that shit and surpassing us because we're like, damn, I don't know how to do that. Fuck. Yeah. Put my phone in my pocket and get back to playing 2K instead of looking it up when it was right there. It can't get any easier. You know what I mean?
Right. And that's the thing. That's the thing. Like, so for me, it was a lot of that. You asked how we get to where we at. Like, it's a lot of me, okay, cool, this works, this don't work. All right, move this around. This is kind of working. This ain't really working. Okay, boom. And it's a building block process, man. And as time goes on, it gets better and better. So that's kind of what I meant in that interview, when people are like, man, you got it because you got a team. No, fuck that, bro. Like, for one, don't disrespect me. For two, don't disrespect my team. Like, don't disrespect the fact that these are all grown individuals that have 24 hours in a day just like I do and have responsibilities and families and friends and relationships and things that they could tend to and that they do tend to, and they still find time to choose to be here. Like, that's a choice. You see what I'm saying? They don't have to make that choice, you know. And the reason why they make that choice is because I make the choice to keep moving and to have plans and have things on the table for us to do. I tell people all the time, nobody goes to a subway for a train that's sitting still.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? People come to the subway to get on a train that's moving. And you got to be out here moving. What people fail to realize when they see people at a certain level in life, and I don't consider myself successful yet. Not in my mind, like I'm successful on a level that I'm at, but I'm not nowhere near where I want to be.
Right.
But, you know, a lot of people, when they see people in the light of some place that they consider success or where they want to be, it's like they automatically want to criticize the butterfly. It was a caterpillar first. Like, with all due respect, fuck you. Don't disrespect that. Like, because before anybody was around me, it was just me.
Mm.
I was the only person that was getting up every morning going to do this shit. I was the person that was getting up to go do this, and that. I was the person that when nobody believed it, I was the only, when I'm yelling to people, yo, I got something, and everybody just, nah, nigga, whatever. Stop it. Get out of here. And then it takes a wise person or somebody who's just open-minded, you know, to look at that and say, oh, man, I see what you're doing. I want to be down. It takes some kind of belief. And then it's like, but when you get to the butterfly stage, you know, we have a bad habit specifically in the black community where we want to shoot the fucking butterflies. Like, no, nigga, get on your fucking grind. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, I'm no different than you. I'm no better than you. I just did the work. Kobe Bryant ain't better than Tracy McGrady as a human being. No, nigga. Tracy McGrady had an injury. Kobe Bryant did the work. And the work that Kobe Bryant did on his body probably prevented him from the injury that Tracy McGrady had.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's the steps. Allen Iverson and Kobe Bryant are neck and neck. What's the difference? Is it attitude? Is it organization that you're playing for? Is it mentality? Is it whatever, you know? And that's not me shooting at any of those guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, there's a reason why Kobe is Kobe, dog.
Yeah, for real.
There's a reason. Like, beyond everything else, when you really research the Mamba mentality, no other player can tell you that.
Yeah, man.
That's why he's Kobe. Nobody else can tell you the little sweet science of basketball. Nobody else knows the inches of the court like him and Michael. That's why there's a him and there's a Michael. And then there's the rest of you. Like,
yeah, man. It's
you know,
shit that can't be skipped, bro.
It's an uncomfortable truth, but it's an honesty, dog. You know what I'm saying? And that's, you know, and I guess I addressed that in that moment because we were hearing it so much, man. And it's like, I would be lying to you if I didn't say it gets aggravating at times because more than anything, what I want for black people, our people, dog, for my niggas, for everybody around us, like my team, we build ourselves on that. We want the best, dog. Like, it's no sucker shit allowed in the circle. Like, we not on that, dog. Like, we go through the roughest of moments and then we come back to the table, all right, man, shit, that's fucked up. How do we figure out a way to get around it? How do we keep going? So then when I hear the chatter, it's like, man, you chatting and shit, but realistically,
you don't even know what it took to get to this point.
Don't even matter not even knowing, because that you know, I can't expect you to sit here and watch my life for 10 years and understand what I'm doing. You don't got to know what I do. But while you talking, bro, move your hands. Move your feet. Like, stop talking, dog, and go move your hands and feet. Because then when you get to where I'm at or past me, you surpass me, you get to where you want to be. And people start talking that shit to you, you're going to see how I feel. Because you're going to be like, nigga, you know, I had to do to get it. You talking that shit from over there. Well, while you talking, man, start walking. Like, a lot of people get lost in their frustration. And whenever you feel that level of frustration, that means you're not as productive as you think you are. And I've been in that place, too. I've been in that place where I've seen people that I'm fans of, like bigger artists, and I'm like, damn, man, I feel like I'm better than this thing, or I feel like I'm getting where I'm going. Like, damn. But then in the process, I'm realizing, like, well, are you willing to go do this? Have you done this? Yeah, I done this, but have you done enough of it? Have you considered the fact that maybe this ain't your path because you coming from a different angle? You see what I'm saying? Like, we all are so critical of each other's journey and not realizing that, yo, you know, the tools that you need, nigga, One thing God gave you was the tools. Niggas say, hey man, I was born, I was fucked up, I ain't had nothing, my mom was broke, such. That's a tool. You don't realize it. That's a tool. Because the nigga who got the least got the most fire. Most of the niggas that I grew up with that had less than everybody else, them was the most hungry niggas.
Yeah.
And that type of resilience and hunger, you can't buy that. You can't even build that. That shit is some shit that's just instinctual. It's developed really before you're even an adult.
Hey, so you said you was like some got to bring the street with you. That hunger, that seen you in order to continue. Got to keep that with you.
Gotta keep that with you. Like you can't like a nigga who came from the block. Like yo, okay, you in the streets, you hustling. You know how much you learn while you hustling? Real shit. It's lessons that you learn while you hustling, dog. Because it's life or death moments in those situations. It's you learn how to read body language, nigga. You learn how to assert yourself. You learn how to communicate. You learn how to negotiate. Like
learn when to be quiet.
When to be quiet. Street niggas got the best fucking training.
Yeah.
And it's not a different system. That's why if you pay attention to the game, the street niggas, they succeed the best. Nigga, you can't. What's $50 to a nigga like me? Can you please remind me? Nigga, we fought the Rico. You talking to me about finding me from the NFL, nigga? Like, stop it, bro. For talking to a football player, man, stop it. Because you know what I went up against before I got here, nigga? I was facing 25 to life. And we beat that. It's certain types of coups that come from your area, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of the times, niggas be so in awe and impressed by the next person's progress that they abandon the skills that they have in themselves because they want what somebody else got. And don't even realize, man, God been shaping and cutting you and molding you. And that's a lesson that in order for me to even be able to inspire somebody else, I had to battle with that myself. That's why I can speak about it. Because I had to go through it. No person is immune to that. We all have some of that in us. We all have at least a little bit of, damn, man, they doing great. Even when you in school, a motherfucker running faster than you, man, fuck. You know what I'm saying? It's always something like that in us. But then, you know, where we lose is a lot of us never get past that place. A lot of us never get past the frustration and the complaining. A lot of us never get past the psychological defeat of looking at somebody else. Keep your eyes on your own paper, nigga. That's one of the earliest lessons you learn in school, because stay focused on doing it, cuz.
Yeah.
Stay focused on what you doing.
Yeah,
once you do that, you'll be surprised how far you leap up. Like Drake said that, I just been playing, I ain't even noticed I was winning.
Just focusing on my own shit.
Just was playing, dog. Like I just been locked in the game. I ain't even looked up at the scoreboard. One of the my auntie told me that years ago. She said by the time it cracks for you, you're not even gonna notice it because you're gonna be so busy working. And I always apply that to when I seen Wayne with the Carter 3. I don't know if you ever seen that clip on YouTube of Wayne where, like, I think it's Mac Man and Tez and them, and they coming on the bus after the Carter 3 drop. Like the
and
week
he was working. He was working. It was like, nigga, we
crazy. Like, yo, it's number one. You number one. Whoa, you sold $1 million copies. And that nigga like, yeah, can y'all get out of here? I got a verse.
I'm trying to record, yeah.
I'm trying to record. Like, I don't care, because at the end of the day, what you think we fucking did it for? Duh. You think I did it to not win? That's expected. But you only get to that place when you so locked in on your process that you see nothing else. You see what I'm saying? When you really locked in on your process and who you are, and you get to that level, that's when you golden, and that's when you great, and that's what we all should be striving to be to. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, I used to be in a place where I would apologize for that mentality because it rubs certain people the wrong way, you know, because some people feel certain type. But at this point, 2020 and beyond, it go back to that statement that I said where it was like, yo, you know, if you don't get it, you ain't supposed to get it. Translation, fuck that, my nigga. I don't care how you feel. Because if you ain't paid attention in 2020, your feelings can't cash no checks, nigga.
Yeah.
No checks whatsoever. And job security ain't guaranteed. So get out your feelings, get you a bag,
and get on your grind.
Shift our focus.
Yeah, man. You just said a lot, bro. Like, you really just, I'm sitting back, kind of applying it to what I got going on. Like, I could do more. You know what I'm saying? Just like you said, bro. Like they said, we don't think enough. I think too much. Last night I was thinking I don't do enough. Like you can always do enough, but it's like you can always do more. But it's like, man, it's so true what you're saying. Like, and everybody listening right now, that whole thing you just went on, bro. You just made some people look in the mirror for sure.
Find the mirror is like my favorite standpoint. Like, because once you find that mirror, man, like it's crazy that you say that. Because I swear to God, like that's my favorite phrase. I say that to everybody. Find a mirror. You can't look in the mirror. Most people are scared of the mirror, man. Most people are scared of their reality. But if you can find a mirror, it do two things for you. One of the main things that it do is it build your confidence.
Yeah, man. For me, bro, one of the mirrors that I have, and this might sound crazy, but it's like I don't smoke too much. Like now I'm smoking a little bit more just for the purposes of like staying up because I'll be working a lot. But I don't never really like I'll go. It's very common that I'll go like 2 months without smoking, and then one night I'm by myself. I done got everything taken care of. I'm getting fucked up, and every time, bro, I find myself just kind of reflecting and being very introspective, but also being critical of myself on where I need to improve. But I never get down. Like I'm going like the thoughts that I'm having. I'm like, man, damn, bro, you should not have done that. You should have did this, or you should be doing this, or look how you've been acting. Like, look how you continuously waking up and not doing that, but doing that. That's become a habit already, and you don't even realize it. Like, but while I'm critiquing myself and going hard, I'm never feeling bad. Like, fuck, I'm gonna stay here. I feel like, nigga, I'm glad I see this shit because I'm about to correct it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the other side of the mirror. That's the other side of the mirror. You just said a mouthful there. Like that's a special part that you just said. The other part of it is gratitude. Acknowledge yourself, acknowledge your shortcomings, acknowledge your faults, acknowledge the places that you can get stronger or better at. But then be grateful for the opportunity and the experience to even acknowledge that. Because that's what's going to keep your spirits high. And I battle with that too. I'm telling you that, like, just from personal experience. You can get down on yourself, look in the mirror like, man, I could have did that better. Ooh. But you cannot stay in the I could have done that better place. You got to get to the, well, now that I know, I'm going to do this. Thanks for allowing that vision to be clear to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I pray for clarity. I pray for two things specifically. Clarity and that God protect me from me. What do I mean by that? Protect me from my nature. As a human, our nature is to bump our heads. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to figure this shit out. Don't allow me to bump my head so much that it knocks me out the game. Give me the clarity to see where I'm going wrong so that I can navigate better.
Man.
Like, that's it. And I feel like once you match that with discipline and work ethic, my nigga, it's a matter of time.
Matter of time, bro. That is literally the fucking ingredients to success, bro. Like, and understanding. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's it. So that's where I be at with it, man. Like that's my mentality. Like, and that's how you get to these team buildings and these things. And in order to have a team, you gotta have a certain level of a thought process to manage it. Because grown people not wasting their time with something they don't believe in or they get no benefit out of. Like that's without a doubt. Nobody who's grown who can go do it, especially in times like this where, you know, life and resources and finance and things of that nature are scarce. It's rough times right now. To stick together and do something in this moment comes from a place of like, hey, you know what? There's something here that's of value. Typically what happens with me and my team is it's mentality. We sharpening each other mentally. That's what keep us on goal. It ain't even the money. It ain't even the brand. It's we growing together. And we holding each other accountable in the process of that. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I encourage people to do. That's why I say teamwork is important. making sure your circle is right. Get around some like-minded individuals. Fuck getting around like-minded individuals. Get around some elevated individuals. Keep a couple of those in your circle whose mind is a little bit above yours, so that you got something to strive towards. You see what I'm saying?
No,
like,
for sure.
That's just what it is, man. I'm done. I ain't gonna.
No, you are spitting facts, bro, and I'm right here with you because a lot of these lessons, like, I've just learned on my own journey of, like, you know, deciding to bet on myself and leave the military when I knew I had 2 kids on the way, leaving the comfort of all of that and saying, "No, I know I can do more," because I could see the ceiling there. You know what I mean? Yeah, I can promote or whatever, but I wanted more. You know what I'm saying? And I still rolled the dice, and now I'm out here putting the puzzle pieces together. You know what I'm saying? And I know exactly what you're saying. Like, a lot of the people that and I was gonna ask you this, but you kind of already answered it earlier, just when you was talking. I was gonna say, like, do you ever find yourself you know, struggling with caring about, like, whether it's people you grew up with and you might see potential in them and you want better for them, that it starts to like nigga, I'm doing more work than you for yourself type shit. But you kind of answered that, and I agree. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you don't get it by now, fuck it. But it's like a lot of the people I grew up with, like, we have nothing to talk about, bro, because you're not on the same level of awareness that I'm on, as to where I'm, like, you really haven't even realized that you're responsible for your life. You have to take control of the direction your life is going. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, having individuals that are of a same caliber as you, and even on a greater level, is the only thing that's in my circle. And like, yeah, I totally understand what you're saying, bro.
Yeah, no, facts. And like, to be honest with you, like, I've been through that too. You know, I'm glad I was able to answer it. But yeah, I've been through the phases. You know, man, I want this for my friend, or I see it for my friend, but everybody not cut, bro. And that's life. That's life, bro. Like, we all grow apart. That's when I was a child. I did as a child. When I became a man, I moved like a man.
Say that, bro.
We become men. And I've had situations where, like, I done had friends who was like, nigga, oh yeah, nigga, we done clicked, we done found it. This shit gonna be forever. And then maybe they make a move, and I'm like, damn, what the fuck, man? Like, I thought this shit was locked in, but you realize that as a man, like, that's a move that he got to make for himself, or as a woman, that's a move she had to make for herself, and then you got to go make your move. Like, everybody, there's paths, my nigga. There's forks in the roads, and there's paths. As long as you have a goal in mind, your path should be okay. Now, if you just out this bitch floating, you gonna land where you land.
Yeah, man. You know what? One of my favorite Nipsey Hussle songs was damn, what is that shit called? Where he was like, "This your life, you could play with it. You make your bed, you gonna lay on it. Face the world."
Face the world. Face the world. Yes, sir.
Man, that's like, bruh. It's just and that's what I'm saying about, like, you know, the teacher appearing when the student is ready, because that shit been in my face. I must have heard that song so many times, but for some reason, 2 years ago, or like, yeah, early 2019, that shit resonated differently. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have to watch every move that I'm doing to make sure I'm not adopting habits that are going to hinder my success. You know, the little things, like you said, like, it's real shit, bro. But I wanted to go from there, and I know we done hit an hour mark. I don't know if you still have a little bit of time, but I wanted to touch on the June tape, and we still don't know, very quickly, if you don't mind.
Okay.
All right, so from for the love of the game, you know, that's when I started seeing the team in the shop opening. But I feel like, and it's just like you said, like that, as you were explaining, you know, your levels of progression. I see it now. Obviously, when I think the June tape came out, there was a stronger foundation or understanding. It seemed like the team was moving as one, because I feel like the promotion for the June tape was fucking incredible. Like, I feel like I seen it everywhere. Like, I seen the promotion for the Derek Jeter music video everywhere. I seen the cover for the June tape everywhere. And then I want to talk about the June tape too, but then I want to transition into the marketing part of Shop Open and what you all have doing. But the June tape, bro, can you talk about that? Because for me, bro, the shout out to June, bro. The samples on that shit were fucking incredible. The mixes were fucking incredible. That is a classic, and that's why I can't say that For the Love of the Game is my favorite album. I feel like that's the album I'm throwing on when I gotta go in beast mode and really isolate and remember who I am and why I'm doing this shit. But the June tape is just a body of work that is like all the 90s things that are placed in there. It just resonate, man. It took me back to a place where I'm like kind of a kid, like, you know what I'm saying, with the cousin Skeeter and everything like that. Can you go ahead and just talk about the June tape for me for a little bit, bro?
Yeah. So the thing is this, kind of to piggyback on what you're saying, like it's kind of interesting that you put it that way. For the Love of the Game is the motivation tape. The June tape is the vibe project, and then we still don't know is the project that you think and you grow. That's what they really designed for, right? And they come in different stages of your life. So the June tape, man, was a special moment, man, with me and my boy June. So me and June been working for years, man, and when I first heard records from June, I kind of talked about it on Buzzer Beater from Love of the Game. Like, he sent me some records. He sent me a DM on type situation. And when I first heard the samples, man, June's special, like really special. Like, I'm very big on production. I'm very big on production and track selection and samples and just hip hop, just knowing the game. And what was special to me about June was the way he would chop samples. He would pick certain parts of records and make them bitches jam in a way that, like, you'd be like, nigga, how the fuck you took that part of the record and made it crazy, right?
Right.
And, coming from Daytona, man, both of us, we both had a pretty decent understanding of the sound of the city. Growing up in Spring Break, Spring Bling, and, just being in the city, Daytona has a soulful feel. We play a lot of Star 94.5. It's a lot of old school jams, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of
Quiet Storm,
feel good, Quiet Storm type music, and we just wanted to catch the essence of Daytona. Like, my goal for that tape was to give Daytona its own classic. You know what I'm saying? That was my goal, to give it to Daytona, but then the other side of it was to highlight June. I came to him probably like 2015 and was like, yo, I got an idea. Let's do a tape called a June tape where it's just nothing but your beats. Because I was like, yo, this type of shit got to be highlighted, and it needs to be acknowledged. And if it was up to me, it would have been a debut album for me. I feel like, we get robbed because of where we from. I feel like if the June tape came out in the middle of the backpack, the blogger era, it would have been the biggest album of the year. You know what I'm saying? That shit deserved to be triple platinum. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. This ain't me patting myself on the back. Nigga, we were top 5 projects that year.
It really was, bro. It really didn't get and yeah, that's coming from where we're from. Unfortunately, it's like that. But I feel like when niggas dig back, when you at that point, you know what I'm saying? When niggas dig back, I'm like, wait, what the fuck? How does nigga ain't blow up when this shit came out? You know what I'm saying?
Bro, it's timeless. A lot at the moment.
Timeless, bro. I mean,
we not mad at it because we knew what it was with that, but it was really my older Daytona and my older June and just his skill set. I wanted him to see how impactful his vibe was, you know what I'm saying? And I think he had already knew it, but he always was kind of just like, June's the type of guy who June just vibe, man. He just go with the flow. He love what he do. He know what he capable of. But I was like, nah, they don't think you really know, So we spent 3 years building that tape, and it really was a parallel story of both of our lives. It was literally like the summer of 2015 when we was kicking it heavy and kind of what we was dealing with. You know what I'm saying? A lot of that shit is kind of crazy to even watch his life kind of manifest from that. We was just talking the other day about doing it. He was like, yo, we got to do a June tape too. And I was telling him, like, there's no way we can do a sequel to that shit. Like, I don't even like sequels. Like, I say we got to do something completely different because that's such a moment in time. You know what I'm saying? It's such a very important time. And I love the way the city received it. One of the greatest compliments I ever got was from somebody who's from Daytona, and they weren't in Daytona at the time, but they told me when I miss home, I play this album. And that was all I needed. You know what I'm saying? That was worth everything for me to know that I made something that felt like Daytona Beach, Florida.
Definitely. You definitely did with that one. And I mean, everything from the tracks, like switching through the radio station in the beginning, I mean, it was so creative, you know what I mean? And it speaks volumes to like we're a hidden gem. Like how the fuck that motherfuckers would probably think like that type of quality of creativity and sound production isn't supposed to come out of a place as small and as quote unquote closed minded, if you will, as Daytona, but here we are type shit, you know?
Right. No, definitely. And I was honored that people received it. You know, we put a lot of work. That tape took 3 years in the making. Derek Jeter was recorded in 2015. It didn't come out to 2018. Just because we wanted people to really be able to receive it. One of the greatest eras creatively for me and my team. And it had actually leveled our career up, to be honest with you. Like, that was the tape that kind of changed the cards for me. From there, we did A3C, SOBs in New York, some LA shows, Reebok endorsement. A lot came from it. So, you know, where it didn't necessarily hit the masses, we were blessed in other areas. So I was pretty excited about it, man. I was really happy. And yeah, I was honored to be able to do it and for people to really receive it, man. That was a very special moment in time. And I definitely think, you know, the only regret I have about that tape is that we did not get to tour. We did a lot of shows, but we didn't get to tour off of it. So we are planning something for like the 5th anniversary of it. Like, and there's like 3-4 records. There's really probably like 7 records that was left off that tape. So it's some leftovers and stuff that we got in the cut. So we're gonna do something special with it.
For sure, bro. And I want to say, probably one of my favorite tracks off that one is, the one with the Usher sample. You know, the Superstar sample.
Superstar, yeah. Day One.
Okay, yeah. Day Ones, yep. Because that one had the Cousin Skeeter on the back of it. That shit was hard. Yeah. And then Live Fast and Die Young. My nigga. If you ain't tell a story on that one, bro, like, that shit is really happening right now. And I have daughters, so it's like that shit is man, that shit is a story, bro. And then you talked about Brandon in there, bro. That shit really, like, nigga can't talk when that shit playing, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Go back to his mama house, money stacked up in all accounts. Was the only mission, no intermission, no ballin' out. Heard it from a distance, they gave the sentence, she falling out. Couple of grams on the first offense, what we talking about? Swear to God, was just talking about. Gotta watch what's in the skies, niggas talk a lot. You watch a nigga lie, that man I hide if you call him out. I was 6 when I first sensed that people comfortably lie. That common sense, the consequences, you won't comfortably die. But luckily my mama prayed for me. My father taught me use your brain, that nigga stayed on me. Things will never be the same, the day straight on me. You live, you learn, you grow, you earn. You light it up, you burn it all, you toss the urn. But now I'm back on track, so back to what I was saying. Look in his eyes, he knew he wouldn't make it. His mama crying, please don't take my baby. They found him hung in the cellar, weed later. To live fast and die young.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. You knew Brandon. You knew 2 Cups.
I didn't. I just remember when he passed and you made that song about him. And so when I heard that reference, when I heard that verse dedicated to him, it kind of felt like some promise that you will sing about me, you know, type of, like, that verse was special, but that whole song was a picture, bro.
I appreciate it. Yeah, man, that was the record for me. I had to do that. That was something that took me a long time to talk about and actually really deal with. And, you know, rest in peace to 2 Cups, and shout out to Bianca, his sister, and his family. That was definitely something that I was happy to finally get it out. You know what I'm saying? So, and I was glad people were able to receive it.
Yeah, man, I definitely fuck with that. Can you talk about the marketing though? Like, who is responsible? So marketing is a very tricky thing if you're trying to figure it out. And to me, it just seems like you figure it out. Like, I remember when I hit you about doing it, and I asked you to send me your email, and your email was who was Crown at, and I was like, damn, I should have guessed that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just seem like you have it figured out, bro. Can you just speak on you know, how you came to the point where you're at with marketing, and then talk about just the importance of it, bro?
Yeah, I've always been very big into marketing. So a lot of the marketing that you see is probably my brainchild as far as the ideas. A lot of the execution of it is my team, of course, and a lot of the design and the work that we have behind this branding. I am November. He designs a lot of it, but a lot of it is like us sitting in a circle and we just be like, yo, let's try this. And then Justin will come with some marketing ideas. Like, it's really a team effort, you know. But as far as marketing from the jump, that's just always been something that I'm really, it's kind of reflex for me. It's just, I don't know, man, it's paying attention to detail. I watch a lot of companies. I watch how they roll out their things. I watch a lot of artists and how they map it out. I understand that consistency is key. That's the biggest thing. Like, tell people all the time, especially artists, like, you know, have your names be the same across all your social media platforms. Therefore, nobody got to try to find you. They know it. You know what I'm saying? Just like you said, you know, I should have guessed that. It's set up that way so that you can guess it. You know what I'm saying? In case you just, for whatever reason, can't think of it off, you could probably just guess and be like, yeah, it's probably that. You know, just familiarity in general. The June Tate marketing, man, it was a blend between me and June and B, really. That was us at our best, to be honest with you. A lot of it down to the orange representing Florida. June has an incredible marketing mind as well. The design was B at its finest. B went crazy. And we tried a lot of stuff for it. So we tried a lot with that project. We just never got a chance to really dive into it like we wanted to on the merch side. But there was so much more that y'all didn't even get to see. Like, the hard copies of the album is crazy too. We never got a chance to get them out. But just, I don't know, man, just creativity is a very big part of marketing. Stuff that's going to be eye-catching, the stuff that you see that's going to catch you, color schemes and consistency in that. Packaging is everything. Like, at the end of the day, man, you know, you don't go to a store and buy something when it looks sloppy. Even when you go to the grocery store, right? Like, you picking your food. You want the food that looks the best.
Right.
You know? So if you're gonna put all that work into the music and making it sound the best, then you gotta put just as much work into the marketing and the product and the look of the brand. Coming up in the 90s, you know what I'm saying, we all bad boy babies, you know what I'm saying? Like, Puffy was probably the best at it. Everything had to look great. Because if it looked good, then it feel good. If it feel good, then it do good. You know what I'm saying? To play out the Deion Sanders shit. So I mean, I guess that's all I can really say about it, man. Like, it's hard for me to kind of break down specific sides of the marketing.
Yeah, no, I mean, you said a lot right there, bro. Like, you said a lot right there. I mean, because I was going to ask, where do you think other artists fall short with marketing? But, I mean, like I said, you said it right there, bro. So,
I think the details to answer that question. I think a lot of times, like, I feel like, to be honest with you, every artist is not going to be a marketing guru. Like, that's something that only the special artists have. Like, when you look at Nipsey and Black Sam, like, Black Sam's a marketing genius, but Nipsey got a marketing mentality too. But every artist can't be Nipsey. You see what I'm saying? Every artist can't be whole. Like, it takes a certain mind for that. And I feel like a lot of artists, it's hard to say, oh, they fell short, because a lot of the times it's like, man, this artist may just be great at making music. And that's where, like, whoever they're signed to needs to step up and do this, and that. A lot of the times, man, we leave a lot of shit on the artists that, you know, they really need help with. But on the contrary of that, like, the standpoint of the artist is different today. You can't just be a rapper, dog. You can't just be a singer. Like, you're not going to get anywhere with that shit. You actually do have to be multifaceted. Like, you have to be able to do multiple things. You do have to understand marketing. You do have to understand promotions, because nowadays labels are not signing artists off of talent anymore. If anything, they're signing artists off of marketing. Anything. Like, that's how you'll see an artist. You're like, man, I don't even like the song, but how did they get it? Well, they marketed it right. You know, hit records are marketed. They aren't made. So that's kind of like, I tell everybody today, every artist got to be the equivalent of Jay-Z. Every artist. If you're not moving like Hov, you're gonna get left behind in this game.
In the sense of just kind of like tackling every aspect of the game.
Yeah, yeah. Like JP and Drake type shit. Like that's what happens. Every time the game levels up, the new standard is set. Like the new standard today is like the baby. The next superstar got to move on a level of the baby. The way that he's consistently in your face with content. The reason why the baby wins is because he markets better than anybody in the industry. Period. He's the number one marketing artist in the industry. Like nobody does it better than him. And the next superstar got to match that level if that's the type of success you want. You got to be in that realm.
Yeah, it's definitely marketing gets deep, man, and I think I can tell by how you're speaking, like it's something that just comes natural to you, like you kind of just understand it. But for me, it's like something that I have to do my research on more, and I'm starting to understand the importance of it more. But a lot of it also is, man, you can't be lazy with marketing. You can't be lazy.
That shit ain't easy though. I'm telling you, it ain't even about like you cannot be lazy for sure, but that shit a lot. It's a lot. Yeah. It's a lot. Marketing a lot, and knowing what to do, and that's the only part that I feel like is unfair for a lot of artists because it's like, man, even some of these artists that's popping, like the baby can't do that without a team. He can't. Like his team is just as important as he is, and he knows that. You know what I'm saying? He always highlights his team. But it takes a lot, man. It takes a whole lot, and you got to be able to. You got to be. I feel like in this game, man, to really see a certain level of success, you have to love it beyond the surface, man. Going back to that for the love of the game shit, like in order to keep going, you got to really love the shit. You got to really love it, like real deal love it. That's the only thing that's gonna get you through this shit. So, and then when you stop loving it, the reflex will carry you. That's it.
Yes, sir. All right, man. Moving on to We Still Don't Know, brother. We still don't know what the fuck is going on, man. I know you've been talking about this project a lot because it's the newest one, man. So I'm gonna be honest as fuck about this project right here, bro. This was one that I don't think I've given it a fair listen just yet. I probably went through it twice, right? And I love the conversation. I'm more drawn to the conversations throughout the tape, I feel like, than a lot of the songs. And I think it's just because I'm more of like, one of my favorite rappers is Big Crit, right? And when he put out what was his last album? Not the new shit when he went independent, but it was Forever's a Mighty Long Time, right? I knew that there was gonna, like, a lot of the songs, I was like, damn, that was a good song, but nothing hit me. You know what I'm saying? And for this album, I knew it was gonna be in there, and it's just me. This is my opinion, right? I knew that there was going to be a track in We Still Don't Know that was really going to just hit me. I was already in love with it because of the realness of those conversations and how they were placed in it, because I love shit like that, because I felt like if I was in the room, I felt like I was in the room and I had an opinion or I had something to say in that. Like, damn, I wish I was there for that conversation type shit, right? Then when it got to FTN, fuck these niggas, right? I knew that was a hit. And I was like, the way that was, the song was choreographed, if you will, with the ladies saying fuck these, like, I knew it was a fucking hit. I was like, this nigga, I know. So I know that the track is coming. That just hits me, right? That's gonna hit me. I know it's in here, right? And then all I hear is,
cut that bit off, stay lying. Mama's crying, daughters dying, rubber bullets flying. Guess the streets needed to ride before you felt the spot. Still with all that same niggas hanging, was lying.
You know how you said Nipsey dropped that song that was speaking to exactly what was going on in your life? Like, Rage did that shit for me, bro. And that's when I was like, another clap. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know when, like, you got an artist that you fuck with and you, like, he puts something out and you like, I know it's one in there for me, for sure. Like, I'm fucking with it, but I know it's one in there for me, bro. when I heard cut that shit off, bitch, they line. That's the exact, bro. And literally the rest of the song, I'm like, nigga speaking for me, bro. And then that, yeah, man. So I could keep going on, like, and then towards the end of it, when you ended that shit so cold too. Nigga said, I ain't tell you to fight no demons. I told you to look for me. And then into at the party. But speaking on how people avoid that mirror. Here we are talking about the mirror again. It's just it's so relevant because like I said, man, the past 2 years, bro, I've just been having this big awakening within myself. And it's like I've been looking in the mirror. And so for you to like you was just speaking to me, bro, on that track, bro. And I appreciate you for that project, bro.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, man. We still don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot, and I think it's a tape that it's a lot in a little bit of time. It's only 30 minutes. It's 11 tracks, if I'm correct. And I would encourage everybody to sit with it and really live with it. You know what I'm saying? My intentions for the tape was to paint the narrative of the black consciousness today, but not in a deep way. I didn't want it to feel deep. I didn't want it to feel overly lyrical. I wanted it to meet you in layman's terms right where you at. And talk about how the three generations are kind of like their position right now, how our parents are kind of like, man, this shit crazy, but it ain't nothing new under the sun. We've been seeing it. Our generation is lost in our fucking emotions and just egotistical attitude about everything being, us not getting our way, and us feeling like we got the short end of the stick, which is a valid feeling. And how we're caught in our emotions. And then the generation that's coming up, Generation Z, who is like just not having it. They just like, man, fuck that. I don't care. Like, y'all niggas, for one, there's some old shit. And this shit ain't got nothing to do with me. And we trying to make progress and y'all in my way. And we'll burn your shit down. Type shit.
Real talk.
And the conversation underneath all of it that's not being had, which is the pain and the healing that's necessary, the mental health that needs to be addressed, the running from the mirror of understanding that a lot of this position that we are in, if you separate it from the realities of the world, there's still a lot of self-work, you know what I'm saying, and accountability that needs to be taken in the conversation, you know what I'm saying, and then, really, like I said, the answer being, what's going on, we still don't know. It was my answer to Marvin Gaye's What's Going On. 50 years later, we still don't know, and, asking that question of if the master and the slave pray to the same God, who does God listen to, kind of just posing the question that, we all think that God works for us. No matter what side of the fence you're on, you think that God is here to work on your behalf. You know what I'm saying? And the truth of the matter is we kind of treat God like he a genie. And God really be looking at us like, nigga, I gave you what you needed. But you look everywhere but up. And I feel like 2020 made everybody look up. Like, no matter, even if you didn't look up, it made you acknowledge God. Even if you didn't believe in God, you asked God help or what happened.
Yeah, because you ain't had nowhere else to look for no type of answers or help, because everybody lying. Cut that shit off. Like, you know what I'm saying? What the fuck?
Yeah, so that's the key, like, and I was just like, with Rage is one of those records that I wanted to just give black people strength and pose a real question. What the fuck are you waiting for? Like, seriously, bro. Like,
now, when you say that, what are you waiting for? This is how I took it. I was like, okay, I believe I'm here for a reason, and I know that there's a destination I need to get to. And and I already know what you're saying. It's like, why are you waiting to get? Who are you waiting for to tell you? Okay, now go. You know what I'm saying? Am I right? Is that what you're saying?
It's a double. It's like I said, you got to sit with the album. I would encourage you to really live with it, because that's one part of it, and that's an interesting perspective. But it's layers to it. It's that, and then it's also, nigga, what you waiting for? The opposition done already showed you how they feel. They literally telling you in the public. Like, the most important line to me is two really important lines on Rage that I wrote. can't wait to drop the documentary so y'all can see the recording process because there's a clip of me recording this particular record. One line is, "Say you out of patience, said you had enough."
Black man
Black
hang. They just called your bluff.
They just called your bluff. Like,
okay, yeah, I see where you. I
when
see.
I
I see.
that line, it fucked me up because I was like, "That's the real conversation." How many times are we gonna keep hashtagging? How many times y'all gonna keep doing this fake ass bullshit ass outrage about somebody dying before you go get you a pistol? Before you go
Protect yourself.
before you sign your mama up for a concealed weapons class, or sign your girl up for something, or protect yourself, because they're telling you right now that they don't care. Every time you turn around, they are killing one of us, and they've been doing it since before we were born. Before our mamas was born, before our mama's mamas was born, before our mama's mamas was born. And we still keep trying to find a way to keep justifying, like, why the fuck are we still marching in 2020? I'm not for hate. I'm not for violence. I'm not on no crazy shit. But at the same time, it's only so much fucking walking you gonna do, my nigga.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, it's disrespectful. And coming from Daytona, you know, I don't understand everybody else, but you know, we come here. You see the Trump signs and the disrespect, and these people hitting people like real black because he's protesting. Like, just, you know, it's so much that happens. And it's like we keep just trying to find a way to justify blatant disrespect and blatant disregard for your life. Cut shit off, bitch. They lying. Cut the fucking news off. Cut the TV off. Cut your phone off. They're lying. The media is lying to you in every way, shape, or form. It's all fear tactics. You know better, and your common sense know better. What you waiting for? What you waiting for to stop shooting your own niggas in your community and stop killing the niggas that look like you? Because I'm sorry, I have an issue believing in your gang affiliation when you don't got a problem pulling the trigger on a nigga that look like you, but these cops run to your neighborhood and kill niggas every day, and you won't never pick a pistol up. You pussy when the cops show up.
Real shit, bro.
But you a gangster when it's your niggas.
Yeah, man, it's definitely some revolutionary sometimes. And you know what? I did catch that part of it for sure. I was just trying to apply it to some positive shit for my own personal introspection. Yeah, and I get you. There's layers to it because I didn't overlook that by any means. Because you're absolutely right. Because you know, like you said, you fed up, you tired of it. In the news today, a 12-year-old boy is found hanging in a fucking tree.
It's like, and then you're gonna tell black people he hung himself. Come on, dog. One thing niggas ain't doing is hanging themselves.
Fuck no.
Niggas ain't hanging themselves, dog. Like, so when I say cut that shit off, bitch, they lying. It's like, nigga, you know the truth, and then the other side of it is being outraged as a black person, because the way that the tape is set up in that space, it comes after Revelations, right? And Revelations is the place where you were literally like, in that song, fuck fighting these demons, I leave them to deal with God. When you get to the point of frustration or being tired of just going through the everyday motions and you finally surrender and you're like, God, man, you know what? This ain't even my fight, man. I gotta leave it to you because I don't even know what to do at this point. And then no sooner than you say that, you turn on your phone, or you get on your phone, you turn on your TV, and Breonna Taylor was shot in her sleep, and you like, well, God damn, man, like.
So, yeah, no, no doubt. So at that point, is it like, okay, if in Revelations you say you're giving it to God, but then in Rage, another instance, is it like trust God even more, or is it like, all right, nigga?
We still don't know.
That shit feel good.
Girl, around me, I'm giving the body. Spell it on me once we hit the line. Girl, you give the lights a Christmas party. I really don't wanna miss the party. It may never feel like this again anytime. Keep it honest, you gon' get it real, real, real. We be vibing, can get retarded. Just like I just I say yes, I will. Either way it goes. I move cool like stars in the winter, so let's let it go. Blessings they fall all over.
shopforeveropen.com. Again, that's www.shopforeveropen.com. And Crown, we still don't know out on all streaming platforms. And from there, you'll be able to find the June tape for the love of the game and all that on the website, shopforeveropen.com. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
I got a creator of my life.